Hello tennis guys and welcome to my channel. So what I have here is something special. So these are the both versions of the Wilson Blade Pro version 9, the latest iteration of the Pro stock rackets that the best players in the world are actually using. So I have here the two versions, the 16 by 19 and the 18 by 20. I've already hit with those rackets a couple of hours. I can say they are fantastic, but there is the but. They didn't really suit my game because they feel too heavy at the end of the day. But I will talk about it in another video. In today's video I will measure the weight, balance and swing weight. So guys, stay tuned for more. Alright, Wilson Blade Pro version 9, both versions in the house. So let's start with the 16 by 19, of course. So it should be 305 gram, right? We all know that. There are the strings. This is a Luxilon ALU Power black, I believe. And this string is 1.25 millimeters. So in this case, in the 98 square inch head size, they should weigh around 16 grams. So we all know that the Pro stock rackets, the Pro version, should be made in a very detailed specifications, really close to the numbers you can see on the frame. So 305 plus 16 is 321. So I am expecting something around that. There is no overgrip. Interestingly, this one is the grip size number 2, and I can already see the number 324.3. 324.3. I will take a picture. I will plug my phone from the charger and let's take it for you. So that's a little bit heavier than I expected. Let's say around 3 grams heavier. So I will write there plus 3. Now, balance. By the way, let's talk a little bit during this measurement that the finish, the glossy finish of those rackets is just exceptional. It is just fantastic. When you grab the racket and you hold it in your hand, the mold of the frame, it's the boxed beam. It has nothing to do with the classic blade you can buy in the stores, in the basic main stores. It's a completely different racket. It reminds me more of the Pro stuff, and you just grab the racket, you feel it in your hand and you are like, damn, that's solid. That really feels like the money you're buying for these rackets is really there. So I just wish every single racket, high performance racket, was made in this manner with the glossy finish and with this, the solidness of the frame. So just fantastic. So now let's measure the balance. So the balance should be 325 unstrung, so strung 335. Let's see what this puppy has to offer. Looks good. Come on, go back. Right, it looks like 330. 330. Well, 336. Something like that. I can see that this is 335. This is really on the mark. Maybe a little bit, maybe just a little bit over. But yeah, 335, 336. So I would just say that this is a, you know, plus maybe 1 millimeter. So for me this type of balance is perfect. And let's go for the most interesting part of this video. As always, let's measure the swing weight. I will show you that the machine is once again calibrated correctly. So this says swing 200 kilograms per square centimeter. This is the calibration steel rod. It should say 200. 199. Of course there is this plus minus 1, so it can be 200 or 201 or 199. Before this video, when I measured it, it was 200, so I will leave it like that. And now the racket itself. I assume this swing weight for this puppy is around 329, and guys, I didn't measure it, so let's see what happens. By the way, I'm drinking, and today's morning when I woke up I wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat anything, so I just have black coffee with honey, no sugar. I'm using honey and to sweeten the coffee, and I have a little bit of butter in there, so the full fat butter, and the taste is great, and it also gives me some energy that and the fat that comes from the butter, and that's all I need. So I wasn't hungry. Why to eat when you are not hungry, when you don't feel it? So this makes it great. And by the way, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee. Just click on this link, join my club, and I will highly appreciate it. It's one of the supports you can make to my channel. So cheers, guys. The butter really leaves there this smooth taste. It is just fantastic. So now the swing weight. So my guess is 329. Ooh, shalalaka. Shalaka. 339. Ooh, that's why this puppy is, you know, 1 hour just fantastic, the next hour or the match you are like, oh, I'm leaving the racket a little bit more behind. It's not like it's not really flying the way I want. I don't really control the racket the way I want. Do you see why 339 swing weight? This is not something an intermediate or even an advanced player should use on a regular basis. This is too high. 339. Woo! I really didn't expect that, but that's a very high swing weight. So I will just show you what I feel when I just swing with the racket. So when I do the loading phase, preparation, this feels fine, this feels great. The weight is not in the handle, it is somewhere here. You can feel that. It is in this section and it goes right here. Right? So the racket is not, let's say, head heavy, but you can somehow feel that it is in the middle and maybe a little bit it goes to the head. So the loading phase depends on how you hold the racket. It's really nice. It's really nice. So this part is really great. When I go back and I try to a little bit mimic, let's say, Roger Federer, or you know, this type of loading. So this is great, this is perfect, this is good, this is good. And when I go down with the head and I want to go forward, here in this moment I can feel that the racket is really kind of heavy there. What I would like to have is a more heavy racket that just gives me the sense that the head, that I can control the head, the height of the head where I'm hitting the ball. I can just control this height a little bit better. But in this case I can feel like it is just going down. I have here the RFs, the Wilson RFs. Where is the 300 gram? Here is the 300 gram. With this racket I can feel I have the racket in my full control, because the racket feels overall very light. When I do this, I still feel the racket here. I still have no problem to easily do this, really easily. It's like nothing with this stick. With this one I can feel like there is a lot of weight in this part, and that's really preventing me from using the racket in the crucial situations the way I want. So 339 swing weight for the 16 by 19, that's already very high. I will put it down. So if you have the possibility to play with the pro version of the blades or to measure the racket, just write me in the comments, what did you measure? How did you feel the racket, the 16 by 19 version? So now the 18 by 20. The weight is the same, so I'm expecting it should be around the same weight, the 324. Let's go. Ooh, it is more because of the string, maybe, but the string shouldn't be that much, the 18 by 20. So it says 327.5. 327.5. Really? It means that the string weighs around 22 grams. That is just not possible. So I would say that the weight for this racket is really high. It is probably around plus 6 grams over the spec. 6 grams over the spec. Around 6 grams or 5 grams over the spec. So let's write 5 to 6 grams over the spec. That's too much for a pro stock racket, right? It should be less than that. It should be more refined. It should be really made well. Now the balance. The balance should be the same, 325 unstrung, so 335 strung. By the way, this is a grip size number 3, so a bigger grip, but who knows how it works with the grips, right? So it looks like 330 or 331. 330 or 331, so it's more balanced to the hand in this case. 330 or up to 331, so that's like minus 4 to 5 millimeters. So we can see that this puppy is balanced more to the hand. Now let's talk a little bit how I felt during the play with this 18 by 20 version, and I actually liked it more than the 16 by 19. Why? Because sometimes with the 16 by 19 I did not have the the best, let's say, control and feel, but with this denser string pattern I had somehow better control over the ball. I could swing it more flat without losing control. But when I got tired, that's where the racket showed me the teeth, their teeth. So I made a lot of mistakes into the net. I played a match against Denek. I will probably make a full video on it, a full match with the, let's say, highlights or with the points, that you can really see how I really felt kind of tired. I felt okay with the racket, but not the way that I would be like, oh, I'm in control of the racket all the time. That's the biggest problem. So the swing weight with this one, oh no, it maybe feels a little bit lighter. This one somehow, the 16x19 feels somehow heavier. I don't know whether it is the smaller grip size. So my guess with this one that the swing weight is around 335. Let's go for it. 335 with this one. Looks good. .333, so I was really close. Let me celebrate it with my coffee, honey, with honey and butter. So 333, that's pretty manageable, right? That's okay. That's not something that is super high. Also, that's not something that is, you know, for a regular player, let's say. And I feel like this is a more well-balanced racket, although you can see that the balance, overall balance and the weight somehow feels a little bit, you know, out of the spec. So 333, let's sum it up. So if you were expecting that the specifications for a pro stock racket that you can buy mostly only online from the wilson.com website, or maybe from some reseller who got, let's say, hands and permission to sell those rackets in their shop. There are some of the shops that from time to time they sell the pro stock rackets. Also the Tennis Warehouse sometimes sells these sticks. So if you were expecting that everything would be perfect, it's not the case. So with the 16x19 version, the weight looks like it's like plus 3 gram more. The balance is great, it's almost perfect. It's like plus minus, or let's say plus 1 millimeter. And the swing weight is really high, 339. That's where the 3 gram, the extra 3 gram in the head kind of make the most sense. And in one of my previous videos, or in previous quality control videos, I found out that just putting 3 grams or 2 grams, let's start with 2 grams, just putting 2 grams on the 12 o'clock, just these 2 grams right here can increase the swing weight up to 8 points. 8 points, 2 grams. And you can see that this racket, the 16x19 version, is 3 grams heavier. So the 3 grams can be distributed all over the head, and that has increased the swing weight over the 18x20 version of over 6 points. So these 3 grams made 6 points difference in the overall frame, because the balance is perfect, so the overall weight of the racket is higher. That's why the swing weight is also higher compared to the 18x20 version. The 18x20 version looks like it is 5 gram heavier, but the balance is about 5 millimeters lower. So that kind of compensates the extra 5 gram in the frame. So as you can see, the swing weight is now 333, and I believe that the Pro Stock rackets, the Pro Stock blades, should have the swing weight between, let's say, 330 and 340, something like that. So I think that with the 18 by 20 we are really close to the perfect swing weight for this racket. I would say 335 would be really the best swing weight for these puppies. So guys, that's all. Sorry Dunlop. So guys, that's all for today's video, and as always at the end of the video I would like to thank you for your comments, for sharing, liking my videos, and if you are not subscribed, if you are someone new, just subscribe to my channel. It will help me a lot to grow, and there are 4 ways how to support my channel. The first thing you can do how to support my channel is to join my club on a monthly basis. Just become a YouTube member of my channel for $2 a month. I believe $2 a month. It's a 1 cup of coffee for entire month. It will help me a lot. And then there are the other 3 options. I mentioned already the one, the Buy Me a Coffee platform. Then of course there is the super thanks button under every of my video. It's super easy to do. And the third option, or the fourth option actually, is the PayPal. So you can donate me something through PayPal. It will go directly to my PayPal account. And all of these options give you the opportunity to ask me a question, not some comment under my video, which I can ignore, or I don't really watch every comment, or I don't really give an answer to every comment. It is just impossible. But through the donation, you can ask me a question. You just write me a message that goes with the donation, and I will give you my best and fastest answer that is in my, that is really coming from my head, right? So, and from my heart, from my passion to the sport. So guys, that's the way how you can support my channel, and I will give something back to you. And for now, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, enjoy tennis, play tennis, watch tennis every time, every day, and don't forget to enjoy the manooovrlbity. Bye guys. Blade. Just fantastic. Yeah, I need to return them to Wilson, sadly.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!